If you appreciate what we do for the New Hampshire community and you want to help support the New Hampshire Business Show, head over to patreon.com/NHBusinessShow and think about leaving a couple dollars a month to help us out. It goes a long way to helping us, pay some of the bills that we don't charge the clients for. So patreon.com/NHBusinessShow. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the New Hampshire Business Show. My name is Chris Pastrana, and today I'm here with Bill and Alli Seney of ManchVegas Brew Bus.
Yeah. ManchVegas Brew Bus.
ManchVegas Brew Bus. My apologies. So let's get started. I want to know, what is the ManchVegas Brew Bus and some history on you guys.
Sure. So it is the newest craft beer, local craft beer brew tour bus in the area. So what we'll be doing is obviously saying ManchVegas. We are going to be servicing the greater Manchester area. So literally pretty much every 3 to 5 miles in this area, if you aren't aware, there are new breweries popping up left and right. And we will be providing the safe transport and positive good vibes and good times to our patrons.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
kind of just as a funny note, me and my wife had a similar idea a while ago.
Nice.
And I have a tour guide friend who I'm like, you should do this.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, blah, blah. But don't need to do that now. You guys got it.
You're like, never mind. Good thought.
Well, we might be looking for another tour guide soon, so.
Oh, yeah. I'll put you guys in touch if you want tour guides.
It's funny, though, because when I had the idea, it was kind of just like, if we don't do it, somebody else is going to do it soon, because the market is just like screaming for it. And that's pretty much what every brewery that we've gone to and established relationships with over the past month and on has been saying, that they're like, we've been waiting for this. This area needs it so much. So again, we're
some of the breweries that we're going to be taking the tour bus to have even been talking about doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Starting a tour bus themselves.
Right.
And like Alli was saying, they are just super happy that a service like ours is coming to town.
Yeah.
Because it's not only, fun for the patrons on the tour bus, but it's also good business for the breweries.
Yeah.
Because they need more people coming in, and it helps everybody. We provide the safe ride, get them into the cool new breweries, and the breweries are happy too because they're getting a little bit more exposure. We're obviously I think we're maybe more active on social media than some of the breweries are.
Yeah.
So just by people following us, they're going to get to see cool new breweries and just different spots that they can either jump on the tour and check out or check out on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really good. Because you're right. The whole reason me and my wife were thinking about it originally was, it's fun to jump from place to place, but one of you has to kind of remain sober.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can't really have all the fun you want.
Right. You don't want to have to worry about it. And the fact's like, usually, and that's what we love too, is like, we love to go check out these different breweries in New Hampshire, Vermont, wherever.
Yeah.
But usually that's just like a day trip and you try to make the most of it, but then you're just going to one brewery, and in the time frame that we have laid out for the tour, you're hitting up, including the start and stop, for breweries. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because usually when you're scheduling for like a day kind of trip, it's a full day and maybe one brewery and some restaurant or whatever it's going to be. So it's definitely like a compact, fun adventure.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Definitely. And each of these breweries has, I brought one on last week, was Litherman's Limited in Concord.
Yeah, Michael, he's awesome.
Yeah.
There'll be a stop for sure.
I
love him. He's super cool.
Yeah. And each one of them has like their own signature, the really cool things, and
For sure.
It's a phenomenal service, and that's why the minute I heard, I even read the name, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing it.
I love it. Yeah, and that's for us too. That's, I think, like, part of the adventure is experiencing all these different breweries and seeing this industrial space from the outside, and then the doors open and you're completely blown away by something that is so unique and different and eclectic and personalized, and each brewery has their own personality too. So I think that's what's really fun, is to be able to offer that and show some are the beginning breweries that we've had here in the greater Manchester area, and some are literally a few months old too. Yeah. So I think that's what's so neat, and to see where they're at and what, style of beer they're offering, and or, specific what their strengths and weaknesses are and stuff too. So, and something for everyone too. I think that's what's neat. And we're trying to make sure that in the tours that we're, catering to that thought too, is, who would like this? Both male, female perspective, age group. Is there going to be live music? Will there be an event? Just kind of different things depending upon the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And So this is kind of a really good point that I was
Yeah.
like. A lot of people look at businesses as, competitions, which they are in some regard. But with a business like yours, it's awesome because it's not really a competition with
Right.
breweries.
No,
It
not
doesn't
at all.
have to be.
Yeah.
Because you can share the same clientele because they'll still drink beer
Yeah,
in 3-4
exactly.
places.
Right.
Yep, and not just at one.
Yeah.
Too. And you know what's really wonderful is like for the past years, because I'm a musician, that's my primary job, and Bill is like trivia host extraordinaire, magic man. Is that we've been involved in the brewery community, and Bill has worked at some breweries and stuff too before. So, what is really neat is seeing the New Hampshire Brewers Association it's like a really great community and family too. So it's, regardless of it being a new brewery popping up left and right, there's a really great bond, I'd say, with all of them, and especially in this area too, which is really cool. So I think that's what's special about it is that, we're, supporting all aspects of it as they have for me with music and, all different angles of life for us too, which is cool.
Yeah.
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 So we want to give back, but also, grow together with them too.
Yeah. So where did the idea come from?
So, I was coming off of a 2-hour commute from Boston. I teach at Berkeley 2 days a week in the voice department in Boston, and traffic at 4:00, you never know what it's going to be. So once a month I host an original open mic night at Great North Ale Works, which is one of the stops on the tour. And will be obviously it's a Manchester brewery, so one of our main hub stops.
Yeah.
And they're just awesome. Rob and Lisa North are just wonderful beings. So about a year and a half ago, I started hosting an original open mic night there, because that's kind of more of the scene that I'm in musically right now, is supporting the local artist in the original sense. I mean, support all local musicians, but that's more my niche as a teacher and a writer and just person. So I was driving from Boston straight to my gig at Great North, finished teaching at Berkeley at 4 to get to my gig for 6. Luckily, my husband was available to set up my gear and have me good and ready to go. So I get to I get off the exit on exit 6, turn onto East Industrial Drive, and Easter Seals bus pulls right in front of me. So I was like, bing, light bulb. And I was like, we should open a brew bus. We should buy a bus, and we should do trivia and live music or all these crazy combinations and visit all the great breweries in the area and expand on that, because there's nothing like that here. So literally I parked and got in there. We grabbed a pint and I was like, listen to this. We got to do it. What do you think? And he's like, yeah. And you want to tell the rest of that story? That's kind of fun too. We thought about it. We let it linger for a bit.
I'm sure everybody's probably had a similar experience like this, having beers with their buddies at the bar, and somebody's got this great idea.
Yeah.
And you talk about it all night, and you have these crazy dreams, and then that's the end of it. And you go back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really too psyched about doing that. So that was a Thursday night that Alli came up with the idea. We thought about it all day Friday and all over the weekend, and I gave my notice at my job that following Monday.
Oh, wow.
So from Thursday to Monday, we laid out some rough numbers of, okay, well, how much do we expect the bus to cost? How much are we trying to sell tickets for? How many tours can we do in a week? How many tours in a month? How much revenue do we expect to make? Mm-hmm. And everything that was just kept getting green light and green check mark next to it. And we were like, this is winning on all fronts. And we are, we already know these breweries really well through trivia and through music gigs and whatnot. And so it's not like we had to introduce ourselves to them. So we were coming to them as people that they're already partnering with in some sense, whether, they're hiring Alli to do music or hiring me to host trivia nights. So it was an easy intro. And when we told them that this was our idea, all the breweries have been super supportive and very
pretty much everyone
ready to help us. Yeah.
Super supportive.
If you tell somebody about this idea, almost everybody will say, wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So the enthusiasm is there. And the enthusiasm is there from the breweries too, and the support has just been awesome. So it was an easy decision for us, and a fast decision. So that was the end of February, beginning of March, and now it's the beginning of April, and we are officially open for business April 15th or 13th.
The weekend
sorry.
of the 13th,
So not
14th, 15th.
This weekend, but next weekend. And we're totally excited. We're trying to do, or we are doing some charity tours this weekend to raise money for a friend of ours. And then next weekend we're open for just regular business, both public and private tours. So if you get a group of people, like 8 to 10, 12, the bus can hold 14 people total. So if you get a group of 10 plus people together and you want to rent out the whole bus, you can do that too. But if it's just like you and your girlfriend or a husband and wife or just a couple people and you want to just jump on a public tour, you can do that too. So we've got public tours that are going. And if you say, hey, 2 weeks out, I've got a bachelor party or a bachelorette party and I want to rent out the whole bus, you can do that too.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some cool options, and we're offering like a Friday night flights, a Saturday earlier tour, and then a Saturday night tour, afternoon brews, that one is. And usually what's cool is that the breweries that we've linked up with are going to have like live music, or once we finally get to above the 50-degree level temperature-wise, there'll be cornhole or, awesome outdoor seating and patio, things like that too.
Yeah, we plan on linking up with the events that are happening at the breweries to play on that, build on that, and say, oh, you want to go to a rib fest? Well, there's one happening at a microbrewery in Londonderry, and we can make that our second or third stop on the tour really easily. So we just want to have as much fun with it as possible, and bring people to great breweries and help them drink great beer, and good night.
Yeah, and a safe way, and
drive home safely.
Exactly. And so we're young parents. We have a toddler, and she's hilarious.
Yeah.
So for us, we're like, how do you balance all these things to make life happen and not live, not have any form of regret too, with just living best life and full steam ahead, or not hitting the brakes, I should say. But also, being parents, you want to be responsible too. And that was a big thing of being like, like having the safe transport from these breweries and letting people have a great time, and it's, I think we're catering demographic wise to a different crowd, which is great. And it seems to be that's the craft beer scene is certainly pitching, is the energy that we're going to be going to, which is really cool.
Yeah, I like that because you're right. Because when you think brew bus, I'm looking at like college level, kind of pretty easy. Like if you pull up at a college campus and be like, jump on the brew bus, you could probably stay full all week.
Yeah. With that comes its pros and cons, which I mean, would never turn anyone away that wants to have a good time for sure. But especially if they want to have a responsible good time, I think that's and I feel like with services like Uber and Lyft, there certainly have been an increase of, like I'd say, responsible drinking and just being smart. And I think like that's a huge thing in our state too, is being mindful of that. And for me, that's a big thing. Yeah. So I think that was smart. And, you can't drink on the bus. And my main thing is, well, you can't drink on the bus, but we're bringing you to some of the best breweries in the area. So that's like the benefit. And, each of these breweries are going to be offering, specific deals, right to the brew bus. So you wear your cool little sticker and of the cute little bus, then they'll know that, yep, okay, cool, this is what you get offered here. Yeah. And at the same time, it's supporting the brewery too, instead of, stopping somewhere and being like, you have to drink this specifically. Everyone's like, it's like a choose your own adventure in a way. Like I wouldn't want someone being like, you need to drink this and this is only you can drink. So you go in there and you take in the vibe and the experience, or maybe you don't want to have a drink that time and you love like the merchandise and you want to buy something. It's just, a different stop and different thing for each person, wherever they may be on their tour, which is cool.
That's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, we're just trying to make it fun and personable, and really just, I guess, like, I always loved those like choose your own adventure books when I was a kid too, but it kind of is like, in a way, like, yep, you hop on the bus and we'll take you to these places, and you may have been there before, but you may have not experienced it in this setting.
I think it's cool too, like, so if you have the private tour and you get a small group of people together from, their work or something, great night out, going to be a fun time no matter what.
For sure.
But if you do the public tour and you and your girlfriend or wife jump on the tour, you're going to meet new people and you're going to make friends. And it is more like a choose your own adventure book. You don't know or box of chocolates, so lame. You don't know what you're going to get when you get on the bus. You don't know who else is going to be there, what you might learn from the different breweries, what you might learn from the different people on the bus. You might try something, new that you wouldn't have tried. And I also think that, you can sit at home and, drink yourself to sleep any night. But getting on the bus, it's fun. You meet new people, you try new beers, you go to new places, and it's just so much more of just a full experience than just simply, having a pint.
Right.
Watching a game.
I love it. And
I
feel like everywhere we go, whether it's like a cruise or a bar, we end up meeting new people and talking and connecting. And, that's, I think, such a fun thing to do too. So yeah, if you choose you and your partner or you and your best friend decide to get on the bus, you're going to meet a dozen other really cool people, So speaking of the bus, this is not a school bus.
Yeah.
This is, and again, this is playing off of ManchVegas. In my head, we, did some research on like what, we liked, what we didn't, the pros and cons of being like, do we buy an old school bus? But if we buy an old school bus, it's going to be old. And I love watching these people recreate, buy the buses and making them their homes and traveling out and just living the boho life, which, who doesn't want to live that? But, there's this sense of like repairs and safety, most importantly.
Yeah.
And what the cost and things of that would be. And is it worth it to buy a school bus that's 10 years old? Because usually those are in the market, those are the ones when we did our research being like, well, yeah, they're cool and they're kitschy. We could do whatever you want. But at the same time,
might smell like a JV hockey team. Too.
Or there could be, I didn't want the experience of having like gum under the seat or deposits of gum in the previous life of the bus. You know what I mean? So we went a different route and we fell in love with the Ford Transit 15 passenger cargo. And it's awesome. And, it's comfortable regardless of where you're sitting. It's such a great, beautiful vehicle.
It's got the new car smell.
New car. It hasn't even had its first oil change. So it's the next level. So it's more of, we've been saying, it's more Vegas than Manch. So it definitely plays on like that side of it.
Yeah.
And again, like our slogan is, what happens on the bus stays on the bus. So,
I like it.
So we're playing off of like, having fun with, again, everyone laughs when you say that. So it's
fun.
It's lighthearted.
All about having fun.
Yeah.
Getting out to the brewery, having a couple pints, cutting loose, and then just knowing that you're doing it right. I mean, with the private tours, we can arrange, we're very flexible and accommodating. So if it was like a work trip and everybody leaves work and they need to be dropped off at a particular location that's different from the public tours, we can accommodate.
For sure.
And we're happy to work with people to make sure that everybody gets home safely at the end of the night or at the end of the afternoon or the end of the tour.
Yeah.
But we just want to, keep it a positive experience for everybody and just keep it very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun-centric.
Cool. So where do you guys pick up, because you mentioned the public tour?
Sure.
Like, where do you guys typically pick up, drop off?
So the basic itinerary of the public tour is you would meet at the Backyard Brewery, which is formerly the Yard Restaurant. Yeah. It's right on the Manchester-Londonderry line, and they're a great facility. They have got a great kitchen. They've got probably, I think, between 8 and a dozen beers on tap all the time.
Amazing.
That they're brewing there. And I also host a trivia night there Wednesday nights. So the basic itinerary would be you meet there at like 11:30 in the morning and kind of check in with me, make sure everybody's there on time and everything. If you want to have a beer before we head out, you can, because you're at the Backyard Brewery. And then we'll hit 3 different breweries over the next 4 hours, spending about 45 minutes at each brewery. And then we'd come back to the Backyard Brewery at 4 p.m. So it would run from 11:30 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. And that's our morning tour. And it kind of follows, the public tours follow that kind of formula of we're going to take, budget our time of 15 minutes to get to a brewery, spend 45 minutes there, and then 15 minutes to get to the next brewery, and so on and so forth. So I think 45 minutes is plenty of time to have 1, 2, maybe 3 beers or a flight of beers.
Or food and a flight.
Gives you time to, have food,
Experience.
check out the different things for sale. Maybe you want to pick up a hat or a shirt or something like that. Yeah. And then just get on to the next one. Yeah.
Involved, depending upon the stops. And also, we're open. What's really cool about the stops is they're like, yep, just let us know in advance. But we also want to cater to the group and say, who's interested in doing a tour? Because we have the option to do it at this facility. If you'd rather just, hang out and have a beer and get some food at that stop too, that's cool too. Or, if half of you want to do it, it's really like an option versus being like, you have to be here at this time to do this and that.
If you're very interested in, seeing the brewing facility and the production of it all, that can be arranged at the different breweries. But if you're just there to kick back and relax and just try what they've got, you can do that too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, I just thought of a funny thing. Like, so if someone shows up and then they get to like the second brewery and they're like, I don't want to go any further. You just can you just leave them there and let them figure it out themselves?
I guess so.
They could always call an Uber if they wanted to bail on the
Yeah, and like that's I mean, policy wise, we've said and that's someone's own personal agenda. Yeah. But we did say like if you are holding up the tour and or like sadly if you're being a little unruly and or vomiting, we have the right to say, okay, it's time for you to carry on, but not that I don't feel like that's gonna happen. You never know. That's like the craziness of life.
We're okay with the happy hugging loud drunks. We just can't have any violent or sick drunks.
Yeah, so or if there's consequences to those things.
I'm sure there's going to be somebody someday that gets carried away. Especially, I feel like in the office setting, like when you go out with your coworkers, somehow
you're just like,
there's a lot of built-up tension, whether sexual
yeah.
tension or just tension from the office, and then everybody has 2 beers, the next thing you know, people are getting crazy. So I'm sure every group will be different, but we're just excited to help people have fun and experience these new, great businesses and new great places to go, and
put New Hampshire on the map. I mean, the craft beer scene is amazing here and continuously growing, and
we were building out
on the cusp of Craft Beer Week, which is cool.
We were building out the tours, and we were realizing that we've got more breweries than we do stops, so we're gonna have to rotate breweries in, and we don't really have enough tours in a week to hit every single brewery. Yeah. So some of the breweries like Litherman's, like you mentioned, we probably won't get to them in our first, whack at this in the first 90 days or so because they're just too many breweries. Yeah. So once we start doing like a Concord circuit, heading up to Concord Craft and Litherman's and others up there, then we'll get them on the tour. But for now,
you're even like Kettlehead, you go a little further.
We're so close to, so many breweries. Yeah. There's like a dozen within 10 miles,
or more,
and more popping
Pipe
up all the time.
603s.
Yeah, they're great.
Long Blue Cat. You got Backyard. You got Great North. You got Stark. So
it's amazing. Yeah,
Aegean Ales. They're just everywhere. Yeah. So, and not everybody has been to every single one of them, but a lot of people have been to 1 or 2,
or they've tried their beers at other restaurants. But not seeing it in its.
But I think it's interesting to get the fresh beer and check it out with your friends and. Just to have that full experience of going there and getting the beer where it's made is very satisfying for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Awesome. Pretty cool. Yeah. So we're going to do a quick break here for our sponsors, and we'll jump right back into it. I got something awesome today. Our newest sponsor is Funnels by Kiara. So check it out, nhbusinessshow.com/funnels. And what makes this so amazing is it's using social media to generate leads for your business. Now, if you're a realtor, a general contractor, insurance, you name it, and you're using social media, but you're not doing it very well, chiropractors, doctors, all of these things can be targeted. You just don't know how to do it. So head over to nhbusinessshow.com/funnels and check out Funnels by Kiara. It's an amazing system. We use them. And we generate tons of leads. So check it out. You won't regret it. It's pretty cool. So just kind of flipping off to the second half where we kind of talk about the process a little bit and all that. I could also see this as a huge resource for the breweries. Like almost like at the end of it, hey, let's do a quick Q&A of what you thought of the breweries, and then you could literally pitch them feedback on, hey, this beer was awful, or
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no, I would say like, the way I pitch in the musical world is that, don't feed into think of it as constructive criticism, and that's always a good thing, like it's not a bad thing, like just learn and grow from it, and know that that's a way for you to like establishing your like ideology of whatever that may be. So I totally agree with you, because we want to make sure that people are happy on both ends too.
Yeah, definitely. So like you said, you jumped into this quick. Like you mentioned,
we're a month old.
One weekend and
doing it.
Yeah. We literally, he left Monday and we became an LLC the next day.
Yeah,
so
pretty good. So what type of struggles come from this? Because I know you would mention, you checked all the boxes off. They all looked good. But from that point forward, I mean, you're probably hitting a bunch of roadblocks and...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when it comes to like the social media, things like that, marketing wise, we're doing really good. We have, being my own marketing person for my music, like I have a good sense of that. I think it's just like the what ifs and not knowing certain things of diving into this business where you're not a storefront. This is a different thing. You're on wheels, so you're moving. So there's other parts of federal and state and licensing and things that you just need to be aware of, which we are good and we're in a really great space with that, which is awesome. But yeah, I think that's just like mostly can be the tricky things of being like, okay, well, yeah. Luckily, we've had great guides to help us get to that space. But, just making sure that all of your ducks are in a row.
Yeah.
One of the things that was an unexpected challenge for us, I think, too, is that when you tell people about this business, everybody's got an idea of what you should do.
Yeah.
And then you wonder, how do you keep the right priorities in line to say, okay, well, is that going to drive ticket sales? Yeah. Or is that going to help the bus be more fun or something like that,
Right.
So when we were building out our routes initially, we were thinking about like, oh, okay, well, what are the breweries that we know? Who do we want to work with? And things like that. Then we started looking at it and we were like, well, this is also, a bus route, essentially, and a schedule that we'll have to keep. So we had to start thinking a little bit more geographically, like, okay, well, what makes sense, if you leave Backyard Brewery and you go to 603, well, where should you go next if you're going to try and turn this into a big circle or something like that? So it's just a different way of thinking about how the routes would be set up and the different events you can play off of and things like that. But there have been no shortage of ideas from our friends of, you should offer a tour like this or a tour like that. And we're excited to build on other types of tours too. So we'll be running, the brewery tours nonstop. But we'll also do fun stuff too. What we've seen other brew buses do. And they might make, 2 of their stops about beer and going to a brewery. And then the third stop can be any other point of interest. So whether it's a ball game or, going to see the Monarchs or whatever, you can play it into...
Or brunching it up to this great,
or...
get the best donuts at the local Moose Cafe.
Yeah.
Cause
exactly.
That's where my Sunday heart is.
So, if you need to add in a different stop or... just switch things up to keep people interested. Right. We're totally excited to do all that. And we've talked about incorporating, like a ski trip or a trip up to Winnipesaukee or things like that.
Or doing bar classes or yoga classes.
Exactly.
Incorporating. And all the breweries are all about it. They've done that. They haven't done bar, so they're pretty excited because that's something that I religiously do now. And Bar Life, which is right downtown Manchester. Yeah. The instructors are so for it. And as is the business being this sounds really fun. So it would be a bar, BARRE, hop. And, we'd pick one of the breweries to do it, just how they do Bend and Brews, which are really popular now. And I think such a cool way of thinking about, what ails ya is having a good yoga class and then having a flight after or a good bar class, just mind, body, and soul, connecting all those chakras and aligning with a delicious flight afterwards. Is always good, That's what
I
they
don't
did
think
back in
there's
the old
anything
days.
in the yoga handbook that says you can't have a couple beers.
It's right, yeah. You got to find that sense of om. So I think it's all good.
We got to do in the opposite order. You got to get all of the breweries in and then go do CrossFit.
Yes. Oh man, it would be so painful. But yeah, unique ways that we can incorporate the community and make it be fun, a fun advertising thing on both sides. And it brings in a different crew and a different crowd. Or incorporating. Bill was just at the Courier Museum of Art last night for a cool event they were doing with the newest exhibit they have there, which is micro sized. It's so neat. So they did pints and had the brew bus there.
And they had some nano breweries in there.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So really playing off of creativity, and I think that Manchester is really blossoming and growing in a beautiful way.
Getting a lot of culture.
Yeah.
There are of course, a lot of restaurants and bars in downtown Manchester, and there's even some breweries too. But this is just, adds to that and makes it a little bit more rich.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Definitely. Cool. Awesome.
As far as back to the original question, I guess for this segment,
some like roadblocks or things,
the troubles and whatnot. There really weren't too many. Alli and I worked really well together. Alli built the website herself using Wix. Linked it up with PayPal, and it looks like, when you go to the website, it's very easy to pick your date, pick your tour, pick your time, and pay and check out. And you can do that on, desktop, iPad, or mobile. And she's optimized the site for all three, and it looks great. So that probably took you about a week to put together, start to finish, and we've only been open a month. So we've done a lot. We've got we worked with a friend that we knew to design our logo.
Yes.
To design
Lauren Miller,
the
she's
bus
amazing.
Itself. Lauren Miller
Mountain Dog
of
Design.
Mountain Dog Designs.
Yep. She's great.
And she's available for independent graphic design work.
Yeah, she's
and
awesome.
She listened to us, took our, we kind of have, this in mind.
Yeah.
And she really put it on paper and put it into, not necessarily on paper, but into the computer and made it work.
Yeah.
And
it's literally like our bus is being wrapped as we speak, which is so cool. So the presence of like seeing this, it's bold, it's bright colors, it's the colors of our logo, but it literally looks like we're a mobile Stein. It's going to be amazing. So we're pretty excited for the next few hours to see how she looks.
Yep, just tonight.
And just to have it be, it's literally, it's rolling advertising, and
definitely.
It's just, having that presence out there in the area is just going to be huge.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's mostly just like, like I said, having the checklist of being like, oh, this is who we need to talk to or connect with, and just make sure when it comes to like state and federal that we're good, which that wasn't too tricky because we're not a CD, we don't need a CDL license. There's some other things when, you're a bigger operating system that you need, but we're just one
bus.
vehicle.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
One bus operating in New Hampshire alone.
Yeah.
So we're good.
That's good.
That's cool.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I would see as not an issue, but something to watch out for is, like you said, if people get kind of belligerent, like with insurances, to make sure everything.
Totally. Yep. And then we did Bill did great research-wise with that, too, of just making sure that we're, CYA in your ways of just being like, no, you don't know, and that's life in general. So, you want to make sure you have the best of everything to represent yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. So, when people want to reach out, because you mentioned a website or social media, they reach out, they want to schedule a tour, how do they get a hold of you?
So our website is ManchVegasBrewBus.com. We're on all forms of social media. We're on Twitter. We're actually MHT Brew Bus on Twitter, ManchVegas Brew Bus on Instagram, and obviously on Facebook. So you can book pretty much through any form of those links, which is great. Obviously the website is the easiest and accessible via iPad, phone, everything. Actually, I love the mobile site. So those of you who are wanting to check out the mobile site right now, it just looks so cute. It came out really great.
And if you need help building your own private tour, we can help with that too. So if you've got, if you're the captain of a group of 10 people or so, and you want to set up a private tour, but you don't know where to go, or you just want somebody to, kind of walk you through it, we can do that too.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's all through. There's everything, email, contact, all through the site and stuff too.
ManchVegas Brew Bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
A lot of fun, and I'm super excited to see how this works out for you all.
Yeah, we're psyched to have you on the bus. It'll be really fun.
As soon as my wife gives birth to the baby, we'll definitely.
Congratulations! That's amazing. Yes, understandable, but it'll be a fun summer for sure, and it'll be nice, and mom and dad a night out.
We can carry a car seat.
Yes, you can. It is safe. It is safe for sure.
Okay. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we're gonna roll out with a last word from our sponsors, and I'll catch you all in the next interview. Head over to andnewsbusinessshow.com/goldstar to join the Gold Star referral program. Now, Gold Star is a great system. It's another tool in the belt for getting qualified leads for your business. So check them out. Join us. It's a whole lot of fun.